Welcome to the SID's View podcast.
Is that your inner Bob Ross?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
I don't even know what that is, dude.
Bob Ross?
No, I know Bob Ross, but that's not no Bob Ross.
Nah, you know.
I don't know if Bob Ross was talking like that.
Yeah, that's like sounds like he's trying to invite somebody into his bedroom.
I don't really think that would work.
What?
That wouldn't work.
Welcome. Ask Daryl what he thinks.
His next one's Pocono.
Pocono?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right, wait a minute.
Have I told you guys about Brandon Wilkerson?
B. Wilkes?
Oh, Jesus.
Dude!
Shut up.
You know him?
Yeah, I know B. Wilkes.
Hell yeah. You see what I'm talking about, Sid?
You're such a dork.
What about him?
Do you know what he does?
Yeah, he spots for priests.
Hell yeah! That's what
Well,
I'm
he
saying.
knows that because you say it every podcast.
No, I don't.
Who doesn't know
No,
that
I
now?
don't. No, I don't.
Big time
You know
spotter
that's a
at
lie,
State.
Big time spotter, bro.
He was
You
up
really
here.
think you don't say that every podcast?
No, I don't.
You're out of your mind.
Sid,
Fro?
I think the next Facebook video should be a compilation of every time he
Seriously.
said,
What?
It would be like 3 hours long.
Stop,
Yeah.
dude.
Absolutely.
Diego, I will have to agree, save for maybe one or two shows, it's definitely been brought up
You're-
almost
Bro.
every show.
Ever since I've been here, you've said it every time.
Jack, come on, don't get on their side. This
I'm
is
just telling you,
typical
man.
stuff. I feel like I'm in. Yeah. This is
Well, it is definitely typical, yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
The SID's View podcast. None of you guys say that even remotely good. Nope.
Jack, can you try it,
No,
please?
I'm not trying.
Why?
Not my bit.
Okay.
Right.
I don't think my voice can go that
It's
high.
this season's
exactly.
version of my wife.
Can't do
That's
it.
very true.
Welcome to the SID's View pod.
It's awful, dude. I'd rather have you talk about Brandon Wilkinson.
You can suck it.
Ah, here he
Whoa.
goes again with this stuff. This guy is a button pusher.
That's
what
right.
the freaking heck?
Physically and metaphorically, of course.
Felt like that needed to be louder.
Can I tell you something that I learned this week?
What?
So my little one had a Annie play. You guys know what Easy Street is?
No.
That's where the rich folk live.
Okay.
I'm trying to move there.
Yeah.
Is that an actual city or street?
It's a song.
Oh.
Easy Street. I'm gonna try to move there. That's what I'm gonna do.
I feel like that's not going to work out for you.
Probably not. Oh, here you go. Come on, man. I mean, do we got to keep doing this?
Listen, minute till showtime.
God.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling it today.
Yeah, well, that's good. You've been sick the last couple of weeks.
I know. Well, I feel better now.
Print more teas, Daryl says. We's rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That was just such a hard knock life. That's right. Hi, Emma. Oh, yeah. Well, it's like, huh?
That's what she said.
My God.
There's too much dead air. I just had to
Oh,
go
there
for
is
it.
an
You got 'em
Easy
coded
Street
on
in
here? That's
Plainville.
cool. That's sick.
Easy Street.
Yeah, it's a real place.
Easy Street. Oh, that's
All right,
great.
let's settle in here now. Come on.
Sing it again,
No, I'm good.
please.
Only in SpongeBob's voice.
That was you, bro.
Well, let's start the insanity.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Man Cave for the next edition of the SID's View podcast. Another wet weekend. Mother Nature, she's really a pain in our ass, but Diego's still here. What's up, brother?
You're getting testy tonight.
She's really bothering me, dude. What can I
Yeah,
tell
hey,
you?
listen, I'm excited. We still had a lot to talk about. Stafford, boy. Let's go.
All right, and over here on the controls,
Am I going to be the one doing that?
well, unfortunately, the Reminator is not here. We got our man Jack filling in. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? We got Waterford, Seaconk, Wheel and Modified Tour, a bunch of stuff. You'll hear from me in a little bit.
All right, our man Fro down in the bullpen. You wanted bowling shirts. He said, I got you.
Your man Rob is back in the house once again, and of course, by popular demand, the bowling shirts are as well.
Awesome.
Bringing his A game. That's why we love our man Fro. Listen, don't forget now, if you want to become part of the party, you want to go to youtube.com/SidsView/join. Become a podcast member. Get in that live chat. You'll be able to participate in our Who Won the Week segment later on in the show and get bonus content every Thursday. That's how we do it. We are thrilled to have with us in the Seekonk Grand Prix hot seat is our main man, Marcello Rufrano. What's up, brother?
It's a pleasure, Sid. This is really something.
Glad to have you aboard. We've been having a good time with my man. You're going to want to check us out on Thursday. We've been talking about his racing career up to this point. A lot of fun. Let's get right into it. But, Diego, I'm sorry. I don't want to jump the gun here, by the way, because first things first. Our friends over at Monaco Ford, you know how they do it. They provide us with our weekly results ticker. So let's get them going. Appreciate their support all season long. Diego, what are we going to do with this lady up in the clouds here? She's really screwing up the whole racing season here. It's pissing me off.
Who's that, Annabelle?
No, Jesus.
It's because we tested her. That's why.
We tested her last
Didn't give
week,
us a
man.
break.
Listen, I think I read a stat last week that it's been like 14 straight weekends
Yeah.
that it has rained.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
It's crazy.
Whether on a Saturday or a Sunday, it's literally like somebody posted last week.
Right.
It's like Seattle.
It's getting
Yeah.
sick
Of the East Coast.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that's when we had that discussion last week. I was shocked. I don't know if the Seekonk deal, the schedule change was part of their original schedule, or if they just did that on a whim.
Right.
But that's what I'm talking about, like these local tracks. Some of these tracks that are well off and that have done really well, they can absorb it.
Yep.
A track that's hurting, that doesn't have those kind of funds, man, it's literally like stepping on your face right now.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's why I brought it up last week. You guys thought I was nuts, but maybe they should, early in the season, put in a few Sunday rain dates just in case, but because I know, like, since this, especially kudos to the Speedbowl for canceling early.
Yep.
We sit on this show, the Speedbowl's my home track. I love the Waterford Speedbowl. I know I ride them a lot only because I love them a lot.
Pause.
Yeah, but you said that you wanted them to get better, and they got better.
And they got better.
Yeah.
So I was really happy they canceled early. We were able to make plans like that Friday night. My little one had shows all week at the Guard, so I was able to buy tickets for Saturday night. And, I just appreciated them doing that instead of making me sit at the bowl all day. And then I'm thinking, geez, it's sunny out at like 4.
Right.
Like, damn, it's nice out. Did they screw up?
That's what I was kind of thinking.
I came back out at like 6:30, and I'm like, ooh, it rained a lot.
Yeah.
So...
Well, listen, before we get too much farther, I just want to say that for those wondering where Remy is, Remy had an unfortunate passing in her family and is not able to be with us. So just wanted to let her know, if she is watching, that we're all thinking about her. And losing a loved one is never easy. And when Remy's ready to come back, she's always welcome. I told her take her time, and we'll take care of things until she's ready to come back. But she's a solid podcaster because she did send in her pick'em. So I mean, she's not giving up.
She's on point.
She's on point, exactly.
I'm sorry if I botched with the switching tonight, by the way. First time doing it, so give me a little bit of a break.
Jack's on it. We have full confidence in it.
Right.
I'm surprised you guys didn't ask me to do that.
What's that now?
The switchboard. or
You're
anything.
surprised?
Dude, stop. Fro, no, I wasn't talking to Fro.
Okay.
The
You don't think I can do that?
The dynamics of the studio is that you sit the farthest away from all of us and the equipment at all times. All right, so listen, before we get into the weekly update, I want to give a shout out to my friends over there at the Racers Reunion over there at the old Barnyard Speedway. They got an event coming up on Sunday, July 6th. We went to this last year. It was a lot of fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to round up my podcasters here so we can get these dune buggies on this track. I think the guy that sits over there by himself is going to be the hardest one to get over there.
Oh, you guys always think that about
Well,
me.
no, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. You're a family man. You got a lot
right.
going on.
I
It's
do.
it's legitimate excuses.
Thank you.
But it is a good time, a great time there that Ed Marceau puts on. I mean, there was not only cars there, but you had the Ron Bouchard Mobile Museum was there. There was cars on the track the whole time. He's got a huge tent with food and everything. It was a really good time. So put it on your calendar and see if you can't make that event over there in Rhode Island. But let's get going. We got a lot to go over. Jack, ready to roll with our weekly update. Let's see if he can do a little double duty here. Jack's got a lot going on today. He's
all
getting,
good, man.
Here we go.
All right, before we get going, want to give a big shout out to Fowler's Auto Wrecking for the weekly update this week. All right, so we're going to start in Stafford. Keith Rocco went back-to-back in the SK Modifieds for the first time since 2023. He now is second all-time in career wins with 84, passing Woody Pitcat.
All right, Marcello, over to you.
Got a long way to go. Long way to go.
How was we got a video clip to show here, but just talk about that was, Stafford has just had so many of these races that have just been epic battles up front. And, you, Keith, Talman, I mean, there was a lot of slicing and dicing. Just talk about that race a little bit.
The race was actually really cool. We started 14th, which I thought, like, in essence, was going to be, like, chalking it up to, like, maybe a top 10 night, top 5. Depending on how stuff falls, it's tough to really get going over there sometimes, just how the lanes fall and what direction the race is going. It's tough to say. But, I mean, once we started getting rolling off the top, we just started picking them off little by little, and then cautions kind of fell our way. And we were able to get up there with Keith, and I think at one point it was all the Goombas up there, me, Pulio, and so we had.
It was too, man. It was
really
like
was.
all the Italians are killing it right now, boy. Man,
Fighting to be the pride of Italy.
that's right, man.
Fighting for the nickname.
Unbelievably.
Yeah.
Let's go to the clip.
You all right?
Yeah, well, I clear my throat. Here we go.
My man.
Go again with a good start, but Marcello Rufrano just as impressive. They dive down into turn number 2.
I'll tell you
Rufrano
what, that
has it
second
by
row was
inches
impressive,
down
too.
the back straightaway. Rocco
Yeah, you had a
still
good run
settling
going
in
here,
on
but
the
then Rocco
inside
just
lane.
sends it in here.
Deep in turn number
I mean,
3,
look at that.
off the
Yeah.
fourth
It doesn't even
turn.
look real.
Here
It just
comes
kills the
Rocco
middle, and
to
I can't
take
roll.
back the lead.
Alex Pearl about to get swallowed up
Just
from
like I
fifth
told you
on back
before,
as we
Sid,
have a
he knows
three-way
exactly where
race
to
for
put
the
the
top
thing.
spot.
Yeah.
Rocco to the
unbelievable.
inside. Rufrano
I mean,
slides
listen,
up high.
he's
Troy
one of the
Talman
best
part
ever
of the
for a
mix in
reason,
car
and
number-
Diego's been
Right.
saying this like he just didn't forget how to drive.
I told you.
Yeah.
No.
Like, the guy is just, I mean, he's always been impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
but man, I mean, he's good. So the funny thing about Stafford, though, is, you have to value those, because there's guys, I mean, listen, I picked Di Matteo to win the championship this year. He has been struggling mightily, right? I wouldn't be surprised, though, in 2 weeks to 3 weeks, he knocks off 2 or 3
Right?
wins.
You never know.
Just like Keith is doing, just like you could do.
Right,
It seems to run in streaks there. I don't know
Right.
why that is,
Yeah.
but things seem to run in streaks there. And then, listen, we were
This
talking.
time last year, we were like, who's beating that 11 car, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
Corey won 3 in a row, and you're like, that car's.
I mean, in the offseason, we were talking about, like, Mikey was going to be the one to beat.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Right.
he hasn't been great, because he's been good.
Yeah.
He'll always be good. But he was almost on the verge of dominance the last 3
Right.
races.
I mean,
you
this
know.
time last year, after Corey won 3 in a row, did you think that he wasn't going to win again at
Right.
least once?
Right.
Right.
It's so competitive there.
Not even the
It
winner.
is,
I mean,
yeah.
even look back in the pack. You got Talman, who,
There we go.
what is it, 10th best finish before the first 2 events. What was it, 14th and a 10th or
Right.
something like that? And then he gets up there to get second.
Dude, Talman I'm going to say this, right? Because I've done my own fair share of criticism of Talman, but I think he's come a long way. Like, he runs up, and I thought he was dead last week. You guys took off. You guys left him.
Yeah.
You guys gave him a heartbeat again when the caution came out, and it was like the dude was somebody shocked his ass,
Right.
and he was back in it again.
Yeah.
Did he finish third?
He ended up finishing second.
yeah,
I
he-
think
Second.
third.
Yeah, he
So,
got-
yeah, so
He got
I
the
knew there
bottom
was a
of the
tight
restart.
battle with you two.
Yeah.
He was real good on the short run.
Phenomenal.
yeah, I don't
You
know
gotta
if he
see
could
the
have held
motor
it.
on this thing on a restart. That's the whole reason why I got to the lead at the.
Oh,
beginning.
yes, he pushed you.
Yo, on a restart, my thing's a dog on a restart. It takes about a lap for it to get wound up. But
Yeah.
dude, that's the whole reason why I even had a
Right.
shot, because he didn't lay off my bumper until we got into 3. pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
That's how much he was pushing me.
He's been impressive, man.
for
I mean,
sure.
he has been very, very good for I'm not going to say, I don't even know how to say this. You got the Rufanos, you got the Roccos, you got these guys.
Well, since he hooked up with Shane, didn't he? Hooked up with Shane
Yeah.
Hopkins at the beginning of last year, right?
Well, I
That's
think
made a difference
Shane's
for
doing
him.
a lot of stuff over the phone, so they're doing a lot of their own
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
It's like a family-run team too,
Yeah.
so it's really good to see. There's so many damn good cars.
It really is.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at Pearl come out of nowhere.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Like-
shout out to Alex Pearl,
like,
man. He
dude.
had himself a night. That was
Right?
Look at Wesley Prucker.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
23 was up there
He
for
turned
the
like
lead.
the 5th fastest lap
I
of the
know.
feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look back, so I go back and look at lap times. I'm like, dude, Prucker was fast.
Right.
You know what the thing is there, though? So this is just my observation. I try to watch the races every week for what they are. And a guy like Prucker, he needs race time with the big boys.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the
Right.
more he races up there, the better
Right.
he'll be.
The car can
Yeah.
finally get him up
Yeah,
there.
he'll
now
get
you're gonna
beat
get
up.
the feel for it.
He'll
right.
be sad. He'll go home probably many a night sad, but those are going to lead to good nights in the future
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
for him. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
100%.
I think you're going to see a turnaround this year with that kid. I'll be honest. Because
Yeah.
last year,
It seems like it.
I was talking with that kid. He's a really good kid.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with him the week before, and he's like, "Man, just like this SK race, and it's just like it's tough. It's
Oh,
real
yeah.
tough." I was like, "Listen," I said, "You had some good runs at the end of last year. You need to take that momentum." And I said, "You need to just put away any bullshit feelings that you got about anybody at this racetrack, and just drive for yourself.
Yeah,
And
right.
Worry about yourself and just do what you got."
well, I think everybody does
And-
that.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Right, they
father
don't-
came walking over this week, and he goes, "I don't know what you said to my kid, but the kid's actually getting up
Yeah.
on the wheel."
Yeah, dude. And listen, dude, you guys had a great run.
Yeah.
Like you guys, I mean, you were this close.
I know.
You took the lead once, right?
Yeah.
That second to last restart, I think, was the only shot I had at that point. In the beginning of the race, I had something for him.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of wait it out and see how the race was going to go. Because when you get like that, I'm tiptoeing through 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, I would murder him. So I'd get the run, but then when you go to set up for 1 and 2 over there, I was tough to get a clean exit out of 2
Yeah.
to get a suck
Well, I
up.
mean, listen, let's call it. You're probably racing against one of the greatest
Yeah.
SK racers at. I mean, so, you guys at one point were gone.
Yeah.
And you guys were just
nose to
playing.
tail.
They were playing the cat and
Right,
mouse game out
100%.
front.
It
Like
was.
Yeah.
you're just sizing them up. Like where can I get them at?
Right, right.
It
It's
was
a
very
lot.
very few places.
Yeah, but he's very good at what he does, though.
Yeah.
He gets out front. I mean, Keith is Keith, and you
Right.
guys know I'm a fan of him. I race with him. I think he's one of the old guys now.
Yeah.
So I pull for him,
Yeah.
But I think Marcello. I was happy to see these guys up front. Stash Petova worked with us years ago with me and my brother when we had Mahoney Racing, and with the passing of Bear, he's come over, right, and helped you guys this year.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see Marcello win. I would have been even more excited to see Stash, because he would have been, if anybody knows Stash, he would have been next level. And he would have been like, oh, what are we doing next? What are we doing next? You know what I mean?
The guy never stops.
Never
Yeah.
stops. Yeah.
Yep.
So, great run. Great race.
Yep.
Great race.
And for Keith, I mean, to put himself tied for second all time, right? Only Teddy is now really in front of him.
Yeah.
And I mean, here last year we were thinking, maybe he is in the twilight years of his career, like maybe. But now, I don't even know if he's
Dude.
close to done.
We've talked about it. You don't
Yeah.
forget how to drive.
Right.
Told you, you just don't. You get hooked up with the right people and the right things, and the car clicks.
Yep.
So anyways, great race. And Pulio was back up there. I don't think, I could go on about, I love watching, you guys know that. I watch every racer, whether they're finishing 5th, 6th. If I can see them, I go back and look at lap
Right.
times of everybody. The one thing that's been slightly disappointing, and you've talked about this, is the start that Moeller's off to this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been
He finished dead
Mechanical
last.
problems.
bro, to come off a season like he had last year,
Where he's the king of consistency, pretty much.
oh,
That
and
is
it's
mechanical
been
issues out the gate.
anything but that.
Right.
And, Marcello had touched on earlier how they have pretty much donated a lot of stuff prior, right, to help.
Yeah. That was a fresh motor they just put in that day. And I was actually there early just to get situated and get my stuff loaded up, and they asked me to take it out just to practice it, just see get the motor broken in for him. So I was like, all right, I ain't got nothing going on. Learn a little something about someone else's car, so why not? So
Yeah.
I went out there, and the thing was breaking up pretty good. And they just pretty much chased it all day. I just, whatever you guys need, fuel pump distributor, whatever you guys need, you got.
Yeah.
Because Jake just been good with us.
Yeah.
Anything we ever needed, the guy's been there for us. So it's just,
Yeah, right. Well, listen, speaking of that, I mean, how about Pearl?
Yeah.
I texted, I sent Jeff Pearl a text message and I just said, hey, maybe, because he is the transmission guy, right? So it was kind of a ball busted, but not really. But I really value Jeff Pearl, the relationship that we have today from when we raced years ago when we used to wreck each other.
Right.
It has come a long way, and I like old man Jeremy Pearl, but I said, hey, few restarts, the restarts were better. I think he had something up front. He had a really fast car.
Yeah.
And Jeff says, hey, listen, we have never talked. We didn't think, I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know they had a motor problem and Dave Arute had let him borrow a motor. I knew none of that whole backside drama. So they really had a great night.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great story. I think they started close to last, I think. I'm not sure, right?
I mean, what? Started last.
Yeah,
he started last.
Pretty damn close.
He wasn't there. The old man wasn't there.
What do you mean?
I thought you said he wasn't there. Like he didn't know about all that.
No, I was texting him because I could only see what's going on in flow.
No, Diego didn't know that. I originally thought he was saying that Jeff didn't know that either. And I was like, how would Jeff not know that?
Yeah. He's there no matter what.
Right.
Yeah, so I had this whole messaging going on with Jeff, and then he relayed the whole story to me that, hey, listen, I didn't think we were going to be up. Who would have thought we would have been restarting third, the third race of the season behind Rocco? We never got into talking about shifting with the Jericho and all this.
Right.
Really?
On a borrowed motor.
Alex is a lot like Jeff, and he's a smart kid. Jeff was always a smart racer.
Oh,
and Jeff in a fast car was tough to beat, and Alex is going to be the same way.
Alex made a great.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
even
gonna
after
be the same way.
I thought if he restarts, he recovered great.
Yeah.
And still, ran in the top 5. And Flannery had a good night too.
Yeah. All right, so let's not roll down everybody in SKs. Let's we got more races to go.
I keep watching. I love it.
Well, it's really difficult given the quality of racing.
All right, so Wayne Corey Jr. Won his first late model race since August of 2023.
My man, old Speedbowl guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris Matthews.
Always great to sorry, Jack. Always great. I really like Wayne Corey. I just think he's a good guy.
Oh yeah.
And it was really great to see him take a victory home. I think it was Matt Clement that was in here that said he's got a brand new car this year. You better watch out. That car's going to be fast.
Yeah, brand new BFR car they built.
Not lying.
The paint looks nice too. I like the paint.
Yeah, good for those guys.
Yeah.
They've been at it a long time.
Yeah.
So
early 2000s at the bowl, I think is the first time I heard of Wayne Curry Jr.
You know, one of the best things about this is
I think he actually goes back to the Riverside Park, if I'm not mistaken.
He does.
Yeah.
Yep. Is when I watch Flo and I could just see almost I could see like the stress relief off of him.
Yeah.
Right.
In the interview.
100%.
It just shows so much.
Well, it's like you always say, you never know when that next one's going to come, right? And I'm sure that in the last couple of years when he hasn't won,
of course.
Like you said, like he didn't forget how to drive, right? But he probably asked himself a million times, like, am I going to win again?
Yeah, what am I doing wrong?
And then when you finally get the win, you're like, damn, that feels good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said. We could do this more often. This is a lot of fun.
When was the last time you won?
23. 23, Jack?
August 18th of 2023.
He's always been a good guy to race. Like he just looks like a good competitive.
Oh yeah,
100%. Yeah,
for sure.
Yep, one of the good guys.
All right, so Chris Matthews won his 23rd career SK Light race this past Friday night, which puts him on top of the all-time win list, one ahead of Tyler
I didn't
Chapman.
see that coming.
What's that now?
Him winning that race.
Really?
No.
I feel like
dude,
he
he fell back to like third or fourth. He had the lead, fell back to third or fourth, blocks him, and somebody else were fighting up front for the lead.
Yeah, but SK Light, I mean, it's basically super speedway.
It's funny how that happens like that. You know, the guys will fall back thinking, oh, he doesn't have a good enough car. Then all of a sudden he's leading and nobody can catch him. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Right.
You know, Bloxham runs really good too. You know, I go on down the names, but those guys all run really well. And congratulations.
He's going to tear a few wins off this year.
Yeah,
I
think
have
so,
almost
too.
no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so RJ Serdell shuts down Matt Clement's opportunity to three-peat in the limited late models. Serdell won his third career Stafford limited late model race Friday night. Moving on to the street stocks, Bert Ouellette won his second feature of the season, doubling his career total by 4. Excuse me.
Listen, congratulations to Bert.
You want to see some street stock action?
I love it.
Dude,
It's one of my
he
clip for
loves to win these things in dramatic
Oh, look
fashion.
at this.
He
Is this
can't have a boring win.
I
this
almost had the pick of the night,
You
though.
did. That would have been impressive if you got
Yes,
this.
you
All right, here
did.
we go.
Off turn number 4. Kyle, we've got 3 cars bidding for the same airspace.
Aaron Clemens being the third of them.
And
Just
recently
in front
married
of
Trot.
him are the race leaders, and they're side by side. Trot, top side.
Come on, Cody,
to
let's
the inside.
go.
It was Trot that time by.
That's
by
what I
a
was
half a
saying
car
right
length.
now. Oh,
Yeah.
come on,
look at this.
Cody,
Look
let's
at this.
He's
go.
going to clear him up the back straightaway. Tyler Trot goes to the front of the field.
As he goes to the front of the field, it appears
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, there's a yeah.
Cody's car.
Whose
After
fault was
leading
that?
For so many
Yours.
seconds,
You picked him.
Wow.
Sorry, man.
Hey, the interviews every time with him are epic, though.
Who? Bert?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
he
he's
looks
great.
like he's gonna like drive his head through the car.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, and then he's like,
But yeah,
it's a great run.
When he talk, right? He's
car
like,
is so strong, man.
complete 180 of
It's like
Rich
somebody-
Hammond.
right? Somebody turns it back real fast. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But good for him. Man. Listen, I picked him to win the Evolved Truck Pro Series championship.
Yeah.
Because he's a streeter kind of driver.
Right.
Yep.
He's that guy. He works on him. He loves them. That's what he does. But he's going to have his hands full this week, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Well, why don't we take a look at the now we got all the Stafford results. Why don't we have a look-see at the old oh no, wait a second. We don't want to see that, Jackie. You already had
You
your
already
theme
saw my
song. I
ugly
know.
face.
Here,
Oh,
this was-
that handsome bugger.
All right, so let's take a look at the old point standings updates here. So we got Junior on top of the SKs
Hey,
here.
by a good bit.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
buffer building up.
And then we got Vericchio still on top of the late models.
2 points off of perfect.
Hubby is Amanda West in second place. Nick Anglace. And then Clement still top of the limited late models. And
Well,
Bert,
look at the points. Yeah.
Bert and Tyler Trott. So Trott said in the beginning of the year that he was not committed to a full season, but I wonder
I don't know how
if
true
this
that
keeps
is
up.
anymore.
We're going to keep seeing him every week.
He seems more and more
Listen,
optimistic.
be
talking
tough
about
to
running
walk
for the
away.
chip.
It's hard not to go. I mean,
Yeah, when
Right.
you're doing that good, right.
And then to top it off, Stafford puts on a good show. Flow racing, people are watching. It's hard
Absolutely.
not to go.
Yeah, 100%.
What else you gonna do?
You
Right.
can't do anything else.
Yeah, what are you gonna go to the casino? What the hell are you gonna do?
You want to that's
Go to
the
Longhorn.
proper way to waste money, but at least have some fun while you're doing it.
Right. I mean, how could you not?
Yeah, that's a
Like,
great point.
It's just, would you rather be in a race car and lose money,
Man,
or go to
Yeah.
the casino and lose money?
And his new wife is a racer too.
Yeah.
She's a Stirk, so
Yep.
Yep.
you know, I mean, they're all racers. How do you not go to the racetrack?
All right, Jack, what else you got?
All right, so moving on to Seekonk in the Wheel and Modified Tour. Matt Hirschman makes it 3 for 3 at Seekonk on the Wheel and Modified Tour. Stephen Kopsick finished second. Austin Beers finished in third. I believe Sid has.
Keep
the
in mind, that was not anything
crazy
close
last
to the
lap
running
finish.
order going into the final
You ready
lap.
to go?
I know.
What a finish.
All right, let's let me see here. Do I have this? Hold on a second, Jack. Don't switch yet. Let me
Oh yeah, I know what happened here.
yeah.
There was
All
a little
right.
bit of mirror driving.
Here we go.
A little bit.
1 lap to go.
Outside lane, the advantage right now for Matt Hirschman. But
there
down
it
to the
is.
inside
Yeah,
lane.
got the left rear.
Bonsignor sends it.
Oh,
He
trouble
goes spinning
now.
off turn number 2.
I mean-
Dude,
in the
Emmerling
wall.
paid
Cars
the
up in the
price.
air.
So did McKennedy.
Is out as he come
Jeez.
across the line, and a multi-car
That was
crash
tough.
on the
Why?
back
Did
straightaway
you
in the
run
final
over,
lap.
Run over
And the
the
most-
car?
There was cars on top of cars.
Yeah,
Like
that was-
fully
Yeah.
on top of cars.
That's
I think
what sucks
Emmerling was
about-
on top of McKennedy or something.
McKennedy went off on the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
think
was tough.
Emmerling was able to drive away, but
Well, you know, I was watching my man Austin. I'm like, he got a shot to win, and then Emmerling was like just constantly stalking him,
Yeah.
like prey. And they had the flow footage on those guys heavily.
Yeah.
And you know, listen, it looked like Bonsignor got out of shape.
yeah.
Try to come down and protect
Well,
his lane.
Bonsignor knew I picked him. He was going. He was like,
Had to fulfill his duties to crash
Right.
out.
Were you watching the race?
oh yeah, I was
Were
going
you
nuts.
like? Were you,
I was
mean,
going nuts.
Were you like, come on? I mean, all for a pick 'em win.
Of course.
All in
Yep.
the name of Sid's View
I was
pick 'em
going
win.
nuts.
Yes.
Hey, listen, I think our public service announcement worked because Joe Koss, he was a big Kopchick guy, and he was saying Kopsick. So,
Oh,
listen,
okay.
that's why we're here. You know what I mean?
Nice.
All right, Jack, go ahead.
All right, so in the late models at Seekonk, Luke LeBrun pushed his career total to 6, winning for his second time of the year down there. Scott Serendisky Jr. Won his second race of the year. which joins him with Colby Lambert, Adam Petty, and Jeremy Lambert as drivers to have finished in the top 5 in all 4 races. First races of
Jack
the
dropping the stats,
season.
my man.
You like that?
Well played.
All right, and then Jake Veneta, excuse me, picked up his first win of the season.
That's close enough.
Close.
But it's got to be the seat.
It's got to be the seat.
It's got to
yeah.
be the seat.
Yeah.
After he's had a big up and down.
We can say
start to the year.
Copsic, right, but not much else.
Right.
That should be the tagline of the show.
Yeah, right.
All right.
All right, so before you go any further, I got some more points to look at, huh? So now that we have the, what do we have to update here? The
look
modified
at Austin
tour.
Beers.
Yeah. Austin Beers.
What?
Atop.
No.
Top
Get
the list.
some.
Yep. In the old Murph 64
Oh,
car.
yes.
Copsic still in second.
Good for him.
Lutz falls down to fourth. He had a tough day. And I think that's all. I don't think anything else is updated. It's just those ones. And then, I know that the Speedbowl got rained out, but real quick, because we haven't shown any update of them at all yet this year.
Yeah.
Or at least it's been a while. As they head back into action this week, there's just a quick look at what's going on down there. Flannery Deshays, Nick Hovey, Jason Beal on top of the trucks, tied with Dwayne Knoll. Got Jordan Hadley of the Streeters, Ray in the mini stocks. And then they don't have a bunch of the Wednesday stuff going yet, but on this scene here, we do have the Crown Vics and Riley Paul with the Legend car. So just a little bit more. We'll get the more point standings next week. That's what we got from the Mid-State Site Development this week. Jack, back to you.
Not bad, man.
Not bad.
All right, so moving on to Friday at Seekonk. What's so funny?
Sid he's off his rocker.
Come on, that was a nice transition. That's good flow.
Jack,
Good show
back to
flow.
you.
There you
He's
go.
just smooth with it.
Beautiful. Just sorry, Jack. This is beautiful.
All right. Mike Henriques won the opener in the pure stocks.
Yeah.
Richie Johnson got the first win in the Sport Fours. Vincent Sorrow picks up his first career Bandolero outlaw win. And then Jace Chaber grabbed his first career Seekonk win.
All right, so our main man, Mason Silva, sent us a clip courtesy of Derek Rose Racing Video.
This is a good one.
And this is a great avoidance of the wreckage by our man Mason. I believe this clip actually points him out as it's quick. So have a look-see.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
There's our man
Oh,
Mason
there's
right
little
there.
Mason,
He's going to
go.
thread the needle.
Oh!
That's how you do it. That is how you do
goodness.
it. Yeah, good
What?
stuff by our
That
man
was
Mason.
beautiful.
Holy crap.
That
Kid's a
belongs on an
wheelman.
all-time list right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
All right. So moving on to the Actor. So Caden Fisher became the youngest series winner at the age of 17 in 8 months. He captured the checkered flag at the Community Bake 150 at Thunder Road.
Okay.
The moving on to God damn it.
I'm sorry.
It's the chairman, I'm telling you.
It has to be.
The tri-track event at White Mountain has been moved to Sunday, June 8th.
Was that
due to
part
rain.
of? Do you know if that was part of the initial plan there too?
I got word today that the Monaco race was being pushed to Sunday. And then when I saw the post by White Mountain on their Facebook page, the ACT race is still Saturday. So I didn't look too much into it because I was just about to get into show prep other than to send the crew, hey,
right.
we are going on Sunday. So I don't know a lot of the details, but it looks like they are. I didn't look at the forecast.
How long of a drive is that from here?
It's about 3.5 hours from here.
So is that a 1 day event for you guys?
It's like right at the limit, but yeah, it's the 1 day. The only one where we stay overnight is Thunder Road. The rest we do it as a day trip. So we'll be there Sunday, getting more action.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. So Bob Horn Racing has announced that the MRS finale on October 4th at the Speedbowl has been named the Bob Horn Memorial 85.
Marcello.
Come on, guys.
Come on,
It's
bro.
chalked up. It's chalked up.
Come on,
That's what
bro.
I'm
I
saying.
mean, you
Chalked up.
got to go to that one.
I'm definitely going for the tri-track deal, but I'll be there for the Bob Warren race.
I
for
think
sure.
that race right there at the bowl,
Well, Bob Horn goes way back to the days with Bill Sweet in the old
yeah.
Daredevil division, way back in the day. So it's fitting that if they're going to have a memorial race, they're having it there. So that was cool to see. Yeah, for sure.
I think the place you're going to see 30 plus cars for that event,
absolutely.
maybe 40.
Yeah.
Maybe 40 for that event. It's going to be another great event at the Bowl.
Well, it matters, but it don't matter. Is it paying good too? Is it going to be a good bunny race?
Oh, it always is, isn't it?
I think it is.
It's got to be.
Diego, yeah, just show up. Don't
Just
worry about
show
that.
up.
No, I'm going to come regardless.
Come on. We're not racing for the money here. We're racing for trophies.
It is. It's true.
Hell yeah.
All right. Last but not least, Chris DePisa announced on Facebook that his Prestige Motorsports team will be shutting down due to rising costs required to remain competitive. DePisa has been fielding cars in southern New England for 3 decades. Driver Max Zackham announced he would continue in select modified events in his family's number 20 car, plus some events at Stafford in Ryan Morgan's number 8 car.
Yeah, it's a bummer when anybody decides to pack it up, losing cars.
Do you think there's going to be a blowout sale on that stuff or no?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Yeah, the guy's got
liquidate it. You just got to hold on to it.
Have you not made a phone call yet, Diego?
I'm going to see if you wanted to go partners.
Me?
Be the SID's View modified. Let's go, huh?
I don't get him started.
Weekly hot seat, you got a weekly driver.
That's right. Oh, that would be fun.
People would be terrified if I showed up in a modified.
Whatever.
It would not be fun.
Sid's bowl debut. Yes.
All right. That's it for the weekly update. Sorry for the botches. And again, Fowler's Auto Wrecking.
No need to apologize, guy. We freestyle it here. That's how we roll. That's why we're popular. Who wants to join me now on the old nostalgia nugget? Remy's not here.
I'll get it on it.
That's yes, let's go.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
All right, Waddell Communications.
He's got to get a little water. This ought to be
hold on.
Hello, SpongeBob first.
Wow. Okay.
Remy, if you're watching or listening, here we go.
All right, nostalgia nugget. Of the week.
Yeah, you did good.
It was all right. A little off key.
Yeah, it was. I mean, have we ever been on key?
No. It's par for the course.
All right, I got to turn this music down. If I can find out what I'm doing here. All right, here we go. I got thrown off there. Without Remy here, it just all falls to pieces. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
All right, what was I going to talk about today? Oh, Diego.
Uh-huh.
This is a good one.
Okay.
So it was about 11 years ago today. We had a Sid's View episode, which was called the Bump and Run Special. This was a magnificent race between. Look at Marcello's. He's a big Sid's View fan. He knows exactly where I'm going with this. So I wanted to show this clip, and then maybe we can have a little chat, because I feel like the bump and run is a polarizing type of maneuver in racing. Let's cue this up. This is 2014 at the Bowl. Josh Galvin was dominant this year in the street stocks. He went on to tie Dwayne Doerr's record of 11 wins in the season.
Wow.
He had won 5 of the first 7 events before this, including the 4 races in a row before this event. And this is him, Ryan Waterman, and Moose Doughton battling out. Oh, hold on. Let me give you a little volume. Hold on a second now.
I always loved Moose's car.
Sid's falling to pieces here. Moose always did have good-looking cars. All right, I think I got the volume situation. Here we go. And Sidney mic'd up in the stands. So that's Moose on the outside of Galvin and Waterman in third.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably had a few beers in me on this one. Now, Sean Monahan is in the stands with me on this one. Glenn Pressel and his wife, Kristen, as well. My wife, Tisha. We had a good crowd. This is a great race. All right, final lap.
Man, Waterman is fast, huh?
Called it.
Wow.
Terrific.
All right, so the reason why I picked this clip. Oh no, stay with it. Don't go off it.
Gave him the old bump and run. Wow.
So what's the reaction here? Right?
Right?
Look at Glenn Pressel's face. Loved it. Sean loved it. We're all smiling. Look at this graphic. A little critical.
Oh,
Instant
yeah.
replay.
that's nice.
Old school. The old Webby cam. Oh, I'm getting all nostalgic now.
Wow. Right away, Webby.
All right, so the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because it's a polarizing thing. I know there's a lot of people that hate the bump and run. I got to tell you, that's one of my favorite memories of Sid's View. And that's everything you want when you go to the races. I mean, we were so excited about what we just saw.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't like we hated Josh Galvin or we were super Ryan Waterman's fans. It was just an exciting finish.
You were a race fan.
Yeah, nobody got wrecked.
Yep.
You know, and it was just awesome. I will always remember those days. I know some
Right.
people don't like the bump and run,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that was freaking awesome.
You hate being on the receiving end of the
I'm
bump
sure
and
you
run.
do, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's never good.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, that's your nostalgia nugget of the week. Always a big thanks to our man Sean Waddell and Waddell Communications. Now it's time, everybody. Go in your closet, get out your bowling shirts, because it's time for the popcorn statue. Oh, with the freaking echo. My bad. All right, sorry about that.
That's scary.
Yeah, I don't know if
it's
the
tweaking
audience
out.
heard it. I think
Right.
only we heard that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we might be good on the air. Go ahead.
alrighty. Time for the Hoosier Tiree Stat Chat, and I have 3 for you. Getting philosophical today
Ooh. Oh,
because I feel like there's no
Ooh,
real
I like that.
anomalies in the stats finishing. Besides Keith Rocco coming back to life.
right on.
Now, saw it already happen this week. I think they did a decent job with it, but I'll ask you all. What's the latest you think you can acceptably move an event to another day that same week?
Who?
It's hard to even do that if it wasn't on the schedule.
Wouldn't you say like 48 hours?
I mean,
For something that was not already, that didn't already have a predetermined race date.
it's hard to do. But
I mean, Marcello, you're racing actively now. Like, what do you
Yeah.
you think? And you think less than 48 hours is not enough
It's
time?
got to be at least.
So I'm gonna put it into a different perspective and talk it from like a business perspective. You got to think about your employees that are actually gonna come and help you run the place.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna tell them, you know, at least 48 hours before,
Yeah.
that, hey, there's a possibility that this date's gonna get moved to like a Sunday. It's better to know the people that are gonna come work for you sooner than later, because chances are they already got something else planned.
Yeah,
That's-
I would think that the staff, the operating staff, probably is made aware of it before the competitors for sure.
Right,
yeah, 'cause
right.
that's probably the first item on the list to see if you can actually do that with your
Yeah.
team. Yep.
Because I think anybody at the end of the day is going to choose the racing over anything else, unless it's like something really set in stone that you really can't change.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like logistically, I mean, do you like call every driver up? Like, are you going to get in contact with all your guys in time? Like, you almost need to leave yourself a buffer to know not everyone's going to get back to you right away. Like Monaco, they've already moved it, and it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah,
Like, I think that's an acceptable amount of time, but like 48 hours, dude, I don't know.
Yeah, but 48 hours for Stafford, I think, is reasonable because it's competitors that race there every week.
Right.
The Monaco
Sure.
situation is at a track that's, like, for us, it's 3.5 hours away. And I think for a majority of the people involved, it is quite a hike. And so in those cases, it has to be even more than that. And rightfully so. They made that race was supposed to be on Saturday. They made the decision today. It's plenty of time to adjust your schedule. And obviously they reached out to their team to see if they could pull it off before they made the change and figured out that they could make it happen. So
do you
make
think
it happen.
they asked all the teams, or they didn't care if all the teams could make it?
I think that a vast majority of them they probably reached out to them. Yeah.
They're solid hitters, the weekly guys that know they come every week.
Yeah.
I would think so.
I mean, I'm a big fan of it. I obviously am a big fan. I'm a race fan anyways, and if I was racing, I would want to race. I would just feel bad for somebody that had a graduation of a daughter to be at or something for that day.
I always remember when I forget how many years ago this is, but it was a long time ago, but Dana DiMatteo was still racing legend cars, and he basically had the championship wrapped up, and they the end of the season got screwy, and they ended up. I think it got rained out multiple times to a point where he had like a hunting trip that he had planned months in advance.
Montana.
Yeah,
I remember
is that where it was? It was
At
in Montana?
Montana.
Yeah, and he wasn't changing it, and he basically didn't win the championship because he already had that plan.
I wouldn't
Right.
either.
Yeah,
Expensive trip.
Right, of course. Yeah, something like that you can't change.
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, he was already basically a legend in the legend cars already. He had
Yeah, right,
multiple
right.
champions at the time, I think. But I mean, yeah, there's going to be times when it doesn't work out. But I think if the majority of the people can pull it off, you know.
Right.
I think I don't know if there's a fixed number, Rob. I think it all depends.
Right.
You know, if it's something where there hasn't been a rain out all year, and then there's one rain out and you push it, it's maybe not as big of a deal as what we're having this year, where there's all kinds of rain out. Even
Yeah.
up north, they're having even worse, right? Where stuff gets so backed up that if you get so many rainouts in a row, then you kind of have to know, like, they're going to try to start plugging into vents. They're going to try to start putting in rain dates more than just saying canceled because there's been so many.
I'm going to see if I can start making canopies for racetracks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good business.
I
You know what
like
they say in the gold
This
rush?
is why
you
you're
gotta
good
sell
at stuff.
shovels. That's you.
We need something. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Alrighty. On to my next topic.
Go.
Is a driver's long-term reputation or legacy, lack of a better term, more defined by raw stats or the fan favorite moments that people really remember?
I think it can be either. You think about somebody like, I'm going to throw a name at you. Emma Coates. Largely considered probably the first prominent female racer at the Speedbowl, right?
Yep.
Never won what's considered a feature race.
Right.
Won a bunch of heat races, won a bunch of consies, and she did win Pounder Pup 30s, I should say. When I say a feature race,
But
I mean
you're
like
talking like a
a
Saturday
point
night?
race. Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Never won one of those races. But she is largely and probably fondly remembered by a lot of people because it wasn't like today.
Yeah.
Nobody was racing. Girls were not racing then.
Right.
And in the late she started racing in the late 70s. Like, I think it was 1976 at the Speedbowl when women were allowed in the pits. So she was like a trailblazer in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's somebody that doesn't statistically have what you would consider legendary stats, but she is a legendary figure in Speedbowl history.
No doubt.
Yeah, for a different reason. Yep.
Yeah, I guess I just think, like, who are you really going to be talking about more in, like, 30, 40 years after it happens? Like, the guy who has 50 just runaway walk-off wins, or the guy who wins 10 races, but they're all, bump and run door to door. Like, just unforgettable finishes. You remember going, oh, like, that's the stuff that sticks with you, to me.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't know, like, I don't know how many races, like, Jimmy the Animal Lloyd won, but I remember watching him.
Yeah.
Right?
Kick butt. Right? I couldn't tell you how many wins he had. There was so many people, probably to our guest tonight, Marcello, there was people that he was impressed by, right, growing up, that may not even have won a ton of races, but that stick in his mind. And I know I have a few in my brain that's happened when I was younger. I don't even know if they won championships. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you, but I don't care.
Right.
If you had to guess for the animal, how many wins would you guess he had?
The animal?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Hold on, because I know this helps you.
he had a great number on his door.
Yeah. Jimmy the Animal Lloyd.
How about is this just the Speedbowl?
At the Speedbowl only. Feature events. A mains.
25.
7.
7, you see?
Yeah.
Right,
That's what I'm talking
and
about.
It's the first thing that came to your
That
mind.
just happened. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
I'm
you're
talking
talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yet, he's the guy
In
that
my
immediately comes to your
mind,
mind.
He made a huge impression on me because he was a badass.
Right.
Yeah.
Jimmy the Animal Lloyd.
That's crazy.
Right?
7 features.
Just happened.
Right.
Good job. Good
Yeah.
question. Bro, you killing it. Must be the bowling shirt.
It has to be. Listen, it's the good luck. I got a couple more, too. Watch out in future shows. Now, but I do have one more question.
Okay.
Which more so defines greatness in your eyes? Absolute perfection and dominance over a single season or longevity over decades of racing?
What was the question again?
Which more so defines greatness for you?
Okay.
Perfection, right? Absolute dominance. I'm talking Travis Hydar type season. Over one single season, or longevity over decades of a career.
I got it.
I mean, there could be greatness in both.
Yeah, I got to say longevity, though.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
without a doubt.
I don't know. So this is nothing against Hydar, but in 10 years, is anybody going to say anything about the year he won? How many races did he win?
11.
Yeah.
11 and finished 5th in points. Is anybody going to remember that in 10 years?
Well, for him, they may because he's still atop the division wins list.
I mean, I'd hate this.
But that's still a great season.
It's a great season, but
I'd rather have a ton of great seasons.
No, listen, right. If you're comparing both of them, I absolutely. Who wouldn't take more greatness over many years than one season? But you can have one great season. You know, like I think of again, I'm just well versed at the Speedbowl, but like Rick Donnelly in 1979, he won 10 of the 14 races in the mods.
Right.
He just killed everybody that year. Now Donnelly won races over other years and had other big wins, but he was truly great that one year. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I just think of longevity. You know, I can't even think of Dwayne Dorr had some really breakout years in the Streeters, but I don't think the division was strong then.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not something that wows me. But if you look at somebody like Corey Hutchins over the course of his street stock and late model career, like the dude was just awesome. I don't care what he's doing today. You know, to me, my brother through this whole sportsman career as one of the best sportsman drivers that we'll ever have in our time.
Yeah.
You know, there's those people like that just they're just good when they get in their type of cars.
Right.
They are just at one with their car all the time, and they're just badass, like Jimmy the Animal Lloyd. You know, so those are just a few people to.
But I'm just saying, like the way Rob asked it was, what defines greatness? Like Travis Hydar, if he never wins another race, and I don't think that's going to be the case, but if he never wins another race, his 2024 season in the street stocks at Stafford was still great.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's still greatness.
It'll be part of the Nostalgia Nugget in 10 years.
Right.
It could be. I can only hope we're still doing the podcast. So that'd be great. Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right, what if you win? Oh,
I was gonna say, well, why do you think we got pictures of Richie on the wall, or we got pictures of, we're gonna be talking about Matt Hirschman, Tony Hirschman.
Yeah.
Did it everywhere, long time,
right?
Damn near everything.
Yeah,
Matt's gonna be spanking everybody for the next 5 years until he retires or whenever that may be. You know, when his kid finally gets into a car and starts driving. But them Hirschmans are just like there's something different up in the water up there.
They're really
it's just unbelievable.
Right.
All right, people. That's your chat.
That's the stat chat, my man. Diego.
Yeah.
Isn't it great when we have a returning sponsor?
I love it.
Our good friends over at Broadbrook Heating
and
Cooling.
I love Dennis.
They have returned. They want a little bit more of the Did You Know, so we're happy to give it to them.
All right.
All right. I was having a look-see. They were saying how Matt Hirschman was, he's basically dominated the last 3 races at Seekonk in the Tour. He didn't. Austin Beers led a lot of last year's race, so ultimately Matt won. I think Austin won. Yeah. But did you know the first 9 races at Seekonk in the Tour, they never had a repeat winner? It's only been in the recent history. This is the first 9 winners at Seekonk in the Tour. Reggie Ruggiero back in 87. Then they didn't have another Tour race until 2000. Jerry Marquis, Chris Kopech, Ed Flepke Jr., Chuck Hosfeld, Austin's father Eric Beers in 2005. Then they didn't have another one until 2016. Timmy Solomito, then Doug Colby, then Justin Bonsignor. Never a repeat winner until Colby won again. And then Matt Hirschman the last 3 times. So pretty tricky place. A lot of different winners.
Obviously, Matt has it down.
He definitely does. He definitely does.
I mean, damn.
And I still love that, Seekonk to me is just such a fascinating place. It is in the heart of modified country. and they don't have modifieds on a weekly basis.
Right.
And they still do really well. They have a really solid fan base. They have really good car counts for their fender divisions. They run 2 nights a week of racing. And when the modifieds do come, Monaco and the
packs the house.
And they have great fields, yeah.
That's
and
because
great
people
crowds.
like us come.
Yeah.
To fill in the voids.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's almost like they don't do them weekly, so when they do have them, it's still a big deal. And they have a really rich history of racers there. Like legendary guys like Bugsy Stevens and Ron Bouchard called Seekonk their home track. You know, they have a really rich history. And so anyways, it was cool to see the mods there. We will be back there in, just under 3 weeks with the Monaco.
You guys want me to go there?
Listen, Diego, you tease us constantly about where
you
you're
want me
going.
to go there? Go to one, and I'll start believing it.
Oh, that's what I'm talking
I'm going
about.
to that one.
Okay.
That's a Wednesday, right?
Again, like he just said, I'll believe when I see it.
Open Wheel Wednesday.
It is a Wednesday.
Okay, let's do it.
Well, Diego,
Yes.
it's that time in the show where I'm going to look you right in the eyes and say,
"What's your record for consecutive questions asked?"
That's right, baby. It's
Here we go.
Man, you said that? That was crazy.
All righty, folks. I appreciate all the emails this week. Hell yeah. Thanks to Ed Marcel, Firewood and Land Clearing for this segment of Viewer Mail. Yes. The first question is from Dane. Are you guys ready for this?
The Great Dane?
The Great Dane.
Well,
this is a Speedbowl question, okay?
We'll listen to the question, then we'll know if it's great. Go ahead.
Okay. As someone who is not in the know, from not being around Connecticut's short track scene all too long, just how big the space between the grandstand sections at the finish line took me by surprise when we were there for the blast-off weekend. Is there a story or reason to why they designed the place that way? And did it affect anything really from the way it was before, either from a video guy's perspective or just as a fan?
That felt targeted.
Yeah. It felt targeted because he knows that you guys do video, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean,
you're trying to trigger me is what you're doing.
What?
So here's part one. I believe that this idea came during the time of George Whitney operating the track. I almost don't even know if I want to say this because I don't know how confident I am about this, but I believe George saw some sort of track, I think, in the legend cars traveling around that had this sort of setup that had concessions where the bus is now. And that was how this idea came to fruition at the Speedbowl. I don't know how true that is, but it sounds better than any other reason I've heard, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think listen, it is what it is. I don't want to bash him too hard about this. I just, the only thing I can say is this. At Stafford, you have to pay extra to sit at the start-finish line. And at the Speedbowl, they don't have seats. So,
the thing is the biggest problem. I don't think the gap bothers me so much, maybe as much as it does for you. What bothers me about the whole seating thing is the elevation.
Yeah.
Like you can't sit. I mean, if you're there, a recent mom or have a baby carriage or the kids are playing. I mean, if you're sitting on the bottom row, you're lucky you see the roof of the modified.
Yeah.
As it goes by.
I did love that about the Speedbowl. Now, the way I understand it, once they redid the midway because of the way the zoning was, they had to do it the way they did. But I would have elevated the grandstands. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what go ahead, dude.
Go ahead. No, I didn't.
You know what I was thinking just now when we were at Thunder Road and the way that they had their seating done, a lot of there were like kids that were playing. We were sitting near a kid that was just, playing in the mud where, you would throw the drinks.
Yeah.
And like, I felt like that had a good sort of elevation or
yeah,
like
Thunder
that.
Road really has a neat kind of, it's almost like amphitheater style.
Right.
Yeah.
The
viewing
landscape
to it.
that you're basically looking like you're angled almost down at the track.
Yeah,
you feel like you're
Well,
getting sort of an area.
Well, that's
view.
the problem kind of at the bowl, which really stinks because, I've been to, like, obviously, I travel with my brother and Brody, and we sit at a lot of different racetracks now. And, obviously North Wilkesboro is a different animal, but you're looking down in the bowl.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome. I don't even care if there's haulers in the infield.
Yeah.
It's a half-mile track with tractor-trailers in the infield, and you can see everything. But
the good thing is, I guess, is it's fixable. If they wanted to, you could put another section of grandstands there. Yeah, it would cost money, but it's not like it's not impossible.
Right.
It is possible to make it better. Maybe someday they will.
Yeah, great question, though.
Yep.
Appreciate the question. Okay, the next one's from our good friend Jeremy Martin. Do you guys know Jeremy?
I've heard the name
You know
before.
Brandon?
Yeah.
Do you know Brandon? Oh, don't get me going. Do you guys know? Do you know Brandon? Yeah, well,
Of course I do.
Okay.
Wait, what does he do again?
Just shut up. Go ahead. Read
Don't
the question.
get me going. Okay. This is for you guys. This is for you, Sid, because you run everything here.
Okay.
Why don't you guys cover the Wild Things carts on Monday from Stafford?
Is it Trigger Sid hour? What's going on here?
The racing is really good and on flow. Maybe just the big divisions, huh? Think about it, Sid.
Oh, I've thought about it.
I don't know if you want me to ask a second question, but
All right. Well, we don't do the Wild Thing carts for the same reason we don't do the races at Pomfret, and we don't do the Silver City quarter midgets. It's just so much that you can cover. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's not like I think it's bad racing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say what Jeremy says. It's really good racing. I'm sure it is.
yeah.
I'm sure there's great racing at Silver City and at Pomfret, but I think we're kind of at the limit of what we're going to cover. It's the four
So
big
it'd
tracks.
become like that's another show.
That's a 4-hour show.
It's the four big tracks
Yeah.
and
Big boy
a
racing.
majority of the touring divisions in New England, and that's kind of our limit. And, the goal, I think, for many of those people racing at those small tracks is to someday race at the big ones.
Right.
And, I look forward to covering those drivers when they get there.
But shout out to Wild Thing Carts.
All right, Jack.
Wade does a good job. Sorry. Good.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of. I mean, there's one of them right there. A lot of up and coming drivers.
100%. Yeah, it
Oh,
has
yeah.
nothing to do with I don't think like the quality of those events or what any of those people are doing. What
for sure.
Wade's doing or Johnny Morgillo or I think Caitlin Gaeta runs the Pomfret now. I'm sure they're all doing great work. It has nothing to do with that at all.
You know what? I'm going to read this next one from Jeremy just because it mentions my
And you
family.
you could have a warning for this one, but not the last one. I'm nervous for Sid.
This is a good one. This is going to piss a lot of people off this Friday. Okay, you ready for this one? Hey, that's the right belt for this. With Sean Monahan getting back in a car,
Oh boy.
will Diego actually come to Stafford on Friday? Yes, Jeremy, I am.
Yeah.
All right. Also, should Diego get back in the seat and try again or stay the crew chief for Emma?
Oh, you and your brother should race.
Oh,
Same
listen,
race.
I was thinking, I read this
Yeah.
question
Get
from
the shooter
Jeremy.
out there.
Sean Monahan would mop the track with you. Don't even try it.
Sid, you're just trying to get me going. There we go, right?
Poking the hot pig.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Poking the bear.
Yeah, he's trying to be he's trying to be a brown eye.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, if I had a ride, I'd definitely do it, but I have no time.
Yeah.
But anyways, excited to see my brother back, and thanks, Jeremy, for the questions. Greatly.
Isn't it amazing how, your brother still has that kind of aura to him?
Listen, he
I'm going
does.
I'm going to Stafford now on Friday.
No, right?
know?
No, he does, and I'm going to tell you this: he's doing a throwback car, and I was in the shop last night, and
That's nice.
no, dude, the thing to me is absolutely beautiful. The car is beautiful. I don't know how long it's going to stay that way.
Probably about one race.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to
Not
have
even that.
tire marks, and somebody's going to be pissed. But he's really bringing a nice car, and the whole crew that follows Brody around, we're all going to Stafford Friday night, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right.
And happy to go.
Jeremy's triggering me in the chat, so I just have to respond.
Okay.
He's equating Monday night carts to Wild and Wacky Wednesday. Not the same thing.
It is.
No, it's not.
Sid.
It's not.
It's not.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Come on, yeah, you're baiting him.
It's
in this
the-
way.
it's
You know what you're doing, you freaking asshole.
Go. Oh, he's got the laugh.
He's replacing the hypersonic.
Here we go.
No.
Here we go.
Sid is funny though. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Dane has another one. Dane had another one. I like
Really?
Dane.
Oh, okay.
The Great Dane?
The Great Dane.
Well, that's to be
Do you
determined.
guys...
Sorry.
Crickets, okay? Do you guys...
That was good.
Please. It's
Okay,
my...
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You guys...
Let's start this again.
5 seconds, please. Can I have it?
Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
I want to roll.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Dane.
What the hell is going on here? I mean, why are you guys messing with my segment?
I'm just having fun. Go
All
ahead.
right. Do you guys think that the order in which divisions run their features on race day can or should be used to build up the excitement and entertainment as the card moves along? If one or two support divisions are the standouts, be it from the racing quality, personalities, rivalries, or a better than most car count, does it make more sense to move those to after the features that maybe are lagging in those areas at the moment? Or does having the typical best shows spread around do more for the betterment of all the divisions? Great question.
I've always been a fan of having the headliner last. I mean, if divisions are struggling for cars, sponsorship running low, interest is low, putting them after the main event is not going to help. I really don't see how that could possibly help.
Listen.
Do you like running last every week?
I do.
Yeah.
And I don't at the same time because we're the last show out
Right.
of there.
So you have the longest day at the track every week, right?
Day. And
But you guys are also like you guys.
Yeah,
are
but
the
you guys
headliners.
put a good show on, though.
We do.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a show.
yeah,
Your guys' race is...
it's the whole reason why they spent the whole day in the stands buying beer and
It
enjoying
is.
the
It's
day.
a great show.
And that's cool. And I
Yeah.
actually wish that like they did move some of the racing around because like I do watch some of the races. I like to actually watch the SK Light race whenever I can.
It's a great race to
It's
watch.
an awesome
It
race.
really is, especially because you're a graduate of the division
Yeah.
Right.
and an ex-champ, right? So it's fun for you to get up and to see what's happening there.
If you guys are right after, you probably barely see any of it, right?
I hardly do. I mean, I watch the first 10 laps and I
Right.
usually start walking back to the car and then
Yeah, yeah.
someone wrecks and I get to come back and watch a couple more laps. and they
But
wreck
you know, I
again.
could say this, right? So, obviously I go to the Speedbowl and watch all the races. There'd be something to be said to put the trucks last. In their heyday, they've put on some epic
true.
races.
Right.
Where it was like, I mean, they're almost must-see events.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying the SKs aren't, but some of those, sometimes when you get good streeter fields, you're like, oh my God. You're like,
Yeah, but that's actually, to me, like, that's a good thing. Like, you want your supporting divisions
Yeah.
because then you're still like, oh, we still have the SKs to go after that
Yeah.
race, But I think I know what he's saying. Like, Stafford's kind of, I think, the bad example because they do things really well where the big stars of their track are in the division, or in your division, and that's the goal. That's the premier division. That's the headline division. You want those drivers to feed up to those division, or if they're fendered guys to feed up to the late models. Whereas, a place like the Speedbowl, the car counts in the SKs have been a little bit rough. Now but we've talked about this.
Yeah.
They've had nights where they maybe have 11 cars, but 7 of them can win, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot of nights last year when the truck division was clearly the best show in town.
yes.
And I could see that. But to me, that is a product of just the state of the car counts now. Like, I remember in the early 2000s when Terry ran the track and he rotated the divisions.
I do remember that.
And there was nights when the SKs ran first, and it was weird.
Right.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
I remember watching.
And then
I used to love it because I'm like you.
Yeah.
So I would be able to park my car right back on the front row and go watch the next race. And then in between the races, load my stuff up. And I never missed a race.
Right.
I loved it, because I'm still a race fan like yourself. Like, you love to watch a good race, so.
Bonson put up a great point. I forgot about that.
I was just going to bring that up. I mean, it was used as going last was used as a punishment last year, basically, because the SK Lights were wrecking too much. So it's like, all right, you guys can get the act together or you're going to be staying here until the end of the night every day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, clearly there is some negative effect of going last.
It's just, I think it's tough when you want to mix stuff around when you're pushing your home of the SK modifieds, you're going to push the SKs.
Yeah, especially when that's in the name of your track.
I almost feel like and I could be wrong, but I almost feel like the Speedbowl doesn't really, the hierarchy of the divisions is not really a thing.
It does feel like that a little bit.
Right?
I mean, to all us old schoolers, it is a thing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
agree.
it's the SKs, all us old schoolers, right? But it may have lost, it just, we talked about this last week. It's just lost energy.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know if it's lost its hierarchy. It's just lost its energy for a minute.
In terms of like staying power, I mean, like you said, the trucks to me feel like the must-see division there.
Even
right?
when there's 12,
I agree.
it's a hell of
no,
a race.
they always put one on. Like I would have no qualms with the
always a
trucks
good
being
deal.
the headlines.
Isn't it? Yes. I mean, especially if Chapman shows up and Beal's racing.
Wheel.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
here we go. So, anyways, yeah, great question. I have one more question.
Oh, well, now, Diego, you know how we do this.
Yep.
Before we get too far in the segment.
Let's do it.
All right. No, you do it because you are the guy that.
All right, listen. Anybody out there watching, including you, Marcello, next week, anything happens. You guys are a little nervous. We can keep you anonymous. Please send an email to sidsviewpodcast@gmail.com. We read them during the week. Everybody on the podcast gets them. What's so funny?
Well, you
Can I just
never
text you mine?
you never get to, you never get to the email address before the graphic goes off the screen. That's all.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
they
fine.
know. They watch.
Yeah,
they
it's
know
fine.
what's going on.
Go ahead.
That can extend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeremy's running out of questions. But Jeremy, your questions are great, and I love them. Okay, one more. This probably could be in your wheelhouse, Marcello.
Let's hear it.
How many people would you offer up an engine or a key part on race day to help them keep racing?
It depends on what they did to me.
So is that a thing? Like if
yeah.
somebody was a mediocre friend and they needed something,
Mediocre.
Well, I wouldn't say I have mediocre friends, but like if MCJ comes over and says, "Hey, you got a distributor," or like the 85 this past week, he needed everything, so we pretty much gave him everything: fuel pump, distributor, if
Whatever
you need a
they
carburetor,
needed.
whatever you need.
Yeah.
Because like if there's been times where I need shit too. Like trust
Right.
me, I don't have everything too. So like if I'm looking for tools or if I'm looking for like a part to put on the car, people aren't bashful. They let me borrow stuff.
Right, right.
We try to return the favor as much as possible. If you're grinding and gouging with me, it's a different story.
Yeah. I have to say I do love that part of the sport, and I see it a lot. We used to see it a lot with when we had the Webby cam, and you got a lot of stuff in the pits of, guys come in and they need to fix a flat tire or whatever. And I was always amazed at what teams would come and help other teams,
Yeah.
and sometimes it would be like people from 5 or 6 other teams in that same race
Right.
that would come and help. And I always think that that's a really cool part of the sport.
One race we had double features, and I started dead last and finished second. And my brother was spotting, and the radio didn't work. And so from lap 1, I just drove like a street stock, and it's the first race Pressel won.
Oh, right?
Yeah, and so I couldn't do anything bad to him because he's my homeboy.
Yeah.
But Rocco and Chadwick wrecked hard that night.
Oh, yeah. They almost went at it.
They almost went
I
at it.
remember
Keith's
that.
car was destroyed.
Yep.
And he came up to me and he says, "Diego, remember that time you said I could borrow your car if I needed one? Can I use it?" And I just finished second from dead last, and I said, "Here you go."
Yeah.
And gave him my whole car for the night.
He did pretty good in that.
He
right?
almost
I think
won.
Pearl got him.
Yeah, he had a flat. He changed the seat. He added lead. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm changing the seat." I'm like, "What?" Then he's putting a bunch of lead in. I'm like, "Oh boy, he's going all in."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And almost won the race. So, I mean, listen, I've done it in the past. Dave Arute did it this weekend to the Pearls. You did it to Moeller and Tick Mike's team. Does that give somebody a free pass, though? I'm wondering.
I don't know. That's a good question. But listen, I will say, like, there is like we had a bad sizzler 2 sizzlers ago where we popped an engine in the heat race.
Yep.
And we were like, trying to swap engines before, like, people are trying to get candy from me. I'm like, I'm trying to swap the motors right now.
Right.
And you'd be surprised, like Doug Dunleavy's guys, without hesitation, just like, what do you guys need? You guys need hand?
Yeah.
Like, me and Woody are underneath the car pulling the tranny out. My father and all the guys are doing the top accessories. We're swapping clutch over, getting everything done as fast as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And then we ended up overheating that engine because we didn't have time for the silicone to seal up on the water pump. It just poured all out. It was
Yeah.
But
that's the great part about
That's cool.
racing, though. Everybody helping each other. And this week with Dave Arute and I didn't know about your whole story, but the Dave Root and Pearl story,
Yeah.
it was just a great success story. So that's it. That's it for viewer mail. Thanks for tuning in to my special segment. Hell yeah.
Jesus.
All right.
Well
Thanks,
done,
Brad.
Diego. It's now time for another popular segment. This is where we get the most heated every week during the Sid's View podcast. It's time for our Northeast Truck and Off-Road Weekly Pick'ems.
I'm probably losing.
Probably.
How about the Reminator, the only one to get something
Wow.
right? It was a terrible week for all of us. A lot of rainouts.
That means she's going first.
Jake Veneta got it done for her.
Oh, look at
Tied for me in second.
Look at poor Fro.
Fro is absolutely
Dude.
terrible at this.
Oh my god.
It's just not.
He's just in a slump right now.
I know.
Sometime.
Not
They
good
call
for
it the
you.
sophomore slump, although the freshman year didn't exactly knock it out the park either.
No,
Yeah.
that's usually how it goes.
All right, well, I have Remy's picks. She goes first because she's the only one that got anything right. So here's what Remy's doing. Ready?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Stafford, Streeters, Ron, Plemons, SK Lights, Speedbowl, Tyler Chapman, Sportsman, Seekonk, Colby Lambert. She's going Burt Willett in the Evolve Truck Series.
Oh.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
racing in that
Yeah.
race? Okay. And then we have Zach Martinez for her wild card at the Speedbowl. That's a weird face you're doing with the yawn there, guy. Very strange.
Get a
Okay.
freeze frame of that. Facebook.
Sid calls me out.
Well, you did it so prominently. You could at least turn away from me or something. It's like you're doing it right in my face. All right, Jack, you have the most points of all the rest of us who didn't do squat last week, so you're up next, buddy.
All right. For Stafford and the SKs, Marcello Rufrano.
Oh,
Wow. Billy Guessabone
That's a
here.
good pick.
That's a good pick.
At Waterford, the Street Stocks, Jordan Hadley.
Mm-hmm.
At Seekonk, the Sportsman, I also went Colby Lambert.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Touring Series, Tri-Track, Patrick Emily.
Very nice.
And then for my wild card at Seekonk, the Bandolo Outlaws?
I think you want to say Bandolero.
Bandolero
Yeah.
Outlaws, Mason Silva.
See, oh, nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Mason still getting a pick.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I mean, did you see that avoidance, dude? I'm confident.
I'm up next.
Go for
Ready?
it.
What are you looking at me for?
Because I know you're going to pick like half the guys I picked.
Dude, I already got, listen, my sheet, I'm not changing any of them.
I mean, that's, again,
I'm not
we
changing.
go
I don't
through this
care.
every week.
Dude, I don't care.
You don't care that you suck at this game?
Dude, I don't suck. You suck.
The racer tip's gonna go
You
wild
guys
here.
are separated by a single point. Calm down.
You suck.
Well, I know that.
I feel like Marcello and John right now. Hold on. It gets much worse than that.
The eraser tip's gonna go wild here.
I'm going hubby, SK Light, Stafford.
Jesus.
I'm going Plemons, Streeters at the bowl.
Chalk.
Damn straight. I'm going to see you guys Colby Lambert, and I'm going to raise you a Jeremy Lambert, Streeters, or Sportsman at Seekonk. Going Ron Silk, Monaco Mods. I hate you, Diego. And then my wild card, Act Race,
Ooh.
White Mountain, Gabe Brown.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Thank you.
That's a great pick.
Now you can go. You want me to just give you my sheet?
All right. Bonsa nailed it. Did you read Bonsa on the chat?
What do you say?
Get on there. Get on there. What do you say?
Went out Lemon, San Diego picks Rufano. Oh, yeah.
You ready?
Shocker.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
hear it.
Rufrano, I'm
No,
so
listen.
sorry, Marcello.
No, it's not.
I'm so
My
sorry.
picks have been good here.
Mm-hmm.
In-house guests. I got 2 this year. In-house
That's a
guests.
fair point.
Okay?
Check out the big brain on Brad.
Go ahead.
Okay. Speedbowl. SK Lights.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
There we go.
Who is it going to be?
Christina's going to punch me in the throat.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoovey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you ready? Seekonk. Prostakis. I'm going to Rory Burns.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's nice. I like that.
Okay.
All right.
That was something. for
Well,
sure.
dude, all right. We just going to go with The touring series, okay? The touring series. We're going to go modified.
See, it's funny for one
Okay,
pick.
Ron
but
Silk.
yeah.
I'm going Ron Silk.
Oh,
all
come
right?
on, dude.
Wow.
Wild card, Evolved Truck Series, Ryan Kuhn.
Not
Okay.
bad. Not bad.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Solid picks, Diego.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
And now for the 5 drivers that will not win next week, down to the bullpen with our man Frel.
That's so bad.
Well, if that's true, then Diego just lost a couple.
Oh.
No.
Stafford, SK Mods, I'm going Mikey Flynn.
Ooh, that's a nice pick.
Waterford Speedway, SK Light, Nick
Would
Hovey.
you stop saying Speedway? Back it up.
Yes,
we
seriously,
need,
dude.
Really? Did I actually?
we need you to
Yes.
say that properly.
Man, that's like memory hole.
You
dude. I don't know
always
what's happening.
say it.
Waterford Speedway, really?
Yes.
Wow.
You've been going there forever, too.
No, it's because it's the Stafford, dude. It's like, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know, Mandela affected. Anyway, Nick
one-
Hovey.
no one knows what that
Oh,
means.
I wrote down Waterford Speedway. That's why. Jesus Christ, man.
Okay.
Seekonk, truck.
Who'd you pick for the
I know. What are we
Speedball?
doing? You didn't even say
Nick
the
Hovey.
pick.
I
Oh, you
said
did.
it, but you guys said
Oh.
roll it back. Speedway.
Settle down. You
Yeah, don't
all-
get excited, guy. Come on.
Touring series, White Mountain, Steven Kopsick.
Ooh,
I even
nice.
said it. I even said the name right that time, guys.
Well done.
And my wild card at Oxford, Gold Pass, Joey Dwyron.
Is he running?
He's on the entry list.
He's great there. He's really good there.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Damn it.
goodness.
I should have had that.
Hey, that's what she said.
Okay. All right. What's up next, Diego? What do you want to do next? You want a little pop culture minute?
Yeah, well, let's do it. Why not?
I mean, Remy's not here, so I guess I'll have to take this one.
Oh,
I
I like
guess.
hers, though.
Yeah. You want to do some more about that stupid doll?
Not at all.
I didn't think so. All right, so I know that you guys, well, maybe Jack and Marcello. Do you guys watch Stranger Things?
No.
No. Marcello? No. Nothing. So no one here does. Maybe some people that are watching are. But they announced that the final season of Stranger Things is coming over the holidays, basically. Some episodes are coming after Thanksgiving, a couple on Christmas, and then I think the finale on New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Did you know that one of the actors has a connection to Waterford, Connecticut? So I'm going to hit you up with my main here, Gaten Matarazzo. He plays Dustin Henderson in Stranger Things. One of the kids who are basically now adults now because it's been about a decade since they got to the final season. Gaten's mother, Heather, graduated Waterford High School with yours truly in 1991. How about that?
Really?
Yeah. She was a Jack is just switching like crazy. Are you following that?
No. I love it.
Twitter fingers.
No, I was getting confused.
Yeah. His mother Heather was super talented, and she was.
What, she did stuff like that?
Yeah, she was in drama. She was a very good singer.
Ooh.
I remember, like, whenever there was an important event, she always sang the national anthem. She was a really good singer, and she actually has 3 kids, and they're all super talented, and they all do stuff like, I don't know if it's Broadway or off-Broadway. I think they're all musicians. They're all super talented.
That's
kids.
great.
Yeah, and so it's kind of neat that it's not a surprise that her son is an actor and is doing well, and it's actually kind of one of the reasons why I watched the show. I mean, I like the show too. It's the kids in the show's set in the 80s.
Never even heard it.
You've never even heard of Stranger Things?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude.
What is that on Netflix?
What the hell is the matter with you?
Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. I just never watched it.
I've never even heard of it.
See, that's peculiar.
Stranger
I've at
Things.
least
Because
heard
I
of
don't
it.
sit down and watch TV.
Well, I haven't watched it, but
Why don't you just, turn away from Steve Harvey's Family Feud for one night and watch
Hey,
something else? Will you?
listen. Steve Harvey's Family Feud's a good
No,
ass show.
I
though.
watch
think
Guy
I got a good time.
Fieri, whatever his name is.
That's extra
Fieri.
syllable in there for sure.
How have you've never heard of it now? That's weird.
Stranger? I've never heard of it.
Well, it's got like some supernatural things, slightly some little horror.
Did you see Potts'
No.
He said it's not from the 60s, so Diego wouldn't know.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Watson's coming out
That
swinging.
is
tonight,
brutal.
huh?
Damn,
What's
bro,
going
that
on?
hurts.
Damn. All right. Well, anyways, what better time for us to have a look-see and see from our good friends over at Myers Creamery. What's on tap? Diego, you know you love this segment.
Oh, there it goes. Look at this graphic.
I forgot that.
Where's the music? Could you do it again? I want to hear the noise. It's the noise is
right.
what goes.
All right.
Oh, I love it. I love it. The best part about that is your face gets deleted.
Okay. Wow. Damn.
Well, you've been killing me all freaking night.
That was good.
I know, boards are being traded. This
Good
is
for
insane.
you. You're on the board. You're on the board. Good for you. All right, so a lot is supposed to happen. We'll see if Mother Nature's going to be an
I can't
absolute
believe we're
biatch
talking
again.
about that again.
Yeah, how many of these races do you think you're going to run?
Oh, man, I would hope all of them, but you never know the way things are going.
I didn't even know it was supposed to rain again on Saturday, and there's a chance.
And Sunday and Friday night.
I can't believe that.
Well, you know, I think let's just take a look-see at the DRC Electric chalkboard chatter just one more time so that everybody knows that nobody likes you, Mother Nature. Just cut the crap.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Seriously.
You're really
man.
starting to piss
See
us
it?
off.
Compartmentalize it, Mother Nature. Come on.
Yeah.
Not this time.
All right. It is that time where we need to find out with our good friends over at Skakic LLC who won the week.
Who are you?
Brought to you by Skake It. We say it right.
I love it.
All right. What are we looking at here? You know, I usually jot stuff down, and I didn't jot anything down. What do we got here? Keith Rocco continuing on. Wayne Corey with a nice win.
Chris Matthews,
the crafty veteran. Burt Willett, right? Is that 2 in a row for Burt, or 2 on the year, or is it 2 in a row?
Yeah.
2 on the year.
Matt Hirschman schooling them again at Seekonk. Well, you know what? I could pick a lot of guys. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start you off with a little Wayne Corey Jr.
I'll put my vote in right now. I'm going with Wayne Corey as well.
Ooh, all right.
I'm going to go Rocco just for passing Woody on the all-time list.
Not bad. I mean, you can't go wrong with that pick, of course. Yeah. Marcello, you get a vote in this as well.
I'm going to double up on that, too.
You going to Rocco?
Yeah, I'm going to double
All
up
right.
on that. That's a pretty good stat.
That's a quality competitor right there. You know what? A lesser competitor would say, I'm not going to vote that guy. He freaking got me.
Anyone that's got that many wins at a racetrack,
yeah.
You know, what are you going to say to
And
that?
he's got that many wins at 3 of them.
Yeah. He's got more than that at 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got almost double that at the Speedbowl. What do you got, Diego?
You know, I'm not sure because, you know, Rocco's stat's good.
Yeah.
You know, Dave Arute for lending the motor is really good.
That's a good one. Alex Pearl would be a good one.
Alex Pearl's a good one. I don't want to sound like I think I'm gonna go Dave Arute just for really loaning a whole motor.
Yeah.
And Pearl running good. Can I do them as a combo?
Sure.
That's a combo deal. The Arute Pearl combo deal is a great. That what won the week for me.
Oh, well, how am I adding that to the tally? I mean, do you want to?
All right, who do I pick?
Well, that's up to you.
Yeah, Dan. You know what? Listen.
What?
You give it to my man Dan Riley. He called me out on it, and rightfully so.
What happened?
Well, our Pop Culture Minute was brought to you by Riley's Generator.
Oh, I love Riley's
and
Generator.
Because I'm not as good as Remy at this segment,
yes,
I forgot to mention that. Dan, we know you. We know you know that we love you and your support of the podcast.
Yeah.
And he was going to give me a vote for who won the week, which you would think it would be who lost the week.
Right. I guess I'm gonna. I think Pearl's gonna have his day.
Yeah.
So, but just for the gesture of lending a motor on race day, I'm gonna go Arute.
All right.
All right.
What do you got over there, Rob?
Now I have a lot of names on this list.
Oh, I
The
like
votes
how
are very
your
distributed.
tally. Your tally is whatever. Go ahead. Never mind.
You want to finish that, or should I just go on with the tally here?
Your ability to keep up with the tally in real time is
It's
impressive.
difficult, especially because I've written here, Sid, 1 vote from Dan Riley for not saying my company name during Pop Culture Minute. See, that makes it even better.
Yeah, I deserve it. I deserve it.
So, here we go. I'll go in order of votes. So, here's everybody with 1 vote. Mother Nature. Hopefully she stops getting votes soon.
Yeah.
Caden Fisher. Joey Dwyron. Sid, of course, again from Dan Riley. Santino Ferrucci, all with 1 vote.
Okay.
With 2 votes here, we have Wayne Corey and Alex Pearl. With 3 votes apiece. We have Matt Hirschman and David Arute. And the winner of the week by a single vote, Kid Rock gets it
2
done.
weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Whoa!
Yep. Listen, Kid Rock is coming back with a vengeance.
yeah.
In
Don't
all
say
aspects.
I didn't tell you.
Not just in SK wins either. He's winning the week, too.
Don't say I didn't tell you.
Listen, maybe sometime soon he'll
Say
be talking to us in person. You never know.
Oh.
Anyways, that's your cliffhanger for the week, and we're going to wrap it up. Don't forget now, you're going to want to follow us on social. Remy was not here, but have no fear. We'll come up with something funny to put into a reel. Diego, take us home, man. Give us some shout-outs.
Hell yeah, man. Without these people, we couldn't do it. Special thanks to Fowler's Auto Wrecking for the weekly update. Of course, Waddell Communications for the Nostalgia Nugget. Hoosier Tyrese for the Popcorn Stat Chat. Welcome back, Broadbrook Heating and Cooling for Did You Know? Of course, Ed Marcel Firewood and Land Clearing for the Viewer Mail. Myers Creamery for What's on Tap. What Sid forgot, but I'm not going to forget. Riley Generators for the Pop Culture Minute. Skake It LLC for Who Won the Week. Of course, DRC for the Chalkboard Chatter. Monaco Ford for the Results Ticker. Thanks so much. Northeast Truck and Off-Road for the Weekly Pick'ems, which I'm going to win. Midstate Site Development for the Point Standings. Of course, Seacon Grand Prix for always firing up our hot seat. Special guest, the Pride of Italy, my week's Pick'em winner, Marcello Rufrano. Thanks for joining us tonight, buddy.
Thank you for having me, Diego, Sid, rest of the crew.
Hell yeah, man. It was great having him. Of course, I want to thank, I wanted to give a special shout out to the Racers Reunion, which is on Sunday, July 6th. Check that out if you want. Of course, Vault Productions for this kick-ass studio. And last but not least, I know I say it every week, but I really mean it. Thanks to all you podcast members, the live chat, all that stuff is awesome. Thank you, guys.
Again, since Remy's not here, want to give a shout out for all the videos today. They're from Stafford Motor Speedway, NASCAR Regional, and Derek Rose Racing Vids.
All right, everybody, go out, support your local racetrack. Let's hope Mother Nature is not a complete jerk this week. We'll talk about it next Tuesday. See you then.